What I'd really love to help with after you watching this video is an action plan to help reduce the fear that you may be facing right now. And this comes off the back of an email someone wrote to me about 2 minutes ago. And I've just sat down to do this post and I don't want to read the whole email. They wrote back to my daily email that I send every day, which you can actually read for free. If you want to pop down in the description, I leave the link to join up for them. But they essentially said the fear of leaving the safety of their home is really awful. The fearful of the unknown. Your fear might be fearing falling, fearing stepping outside, fearing loss of balance, fear getting injured, whatever the fear is, and if it is gripping you right now, I'd love to help you with something called graded exposure. And I'm going to get my whiteboard or chalkboard out for this in a second. But graded exposure essentially is thinking about making the action, breaking down the fear in front of you so small, it's as if it gets to the point of being so small that you're almost looking at it and saying, that's not going to do anything. Josh, what are you talking about? Once you reduce it to that point, that's where you begin. And don't worry, I'll explain all of that in a second. But just for you to grasp that you can do this, you can reduce the fear. Let's scan back quickly to a time when fear was heightened, perhaps when you first started work, perhaps when you had your first child, perhaps when you thought you couldn't overcome this thing. There was a huge fear there, but you overcame it. If you to scan back to that time, remember how there was a heightened fear. And if you remember, you kept turning up. You kept showing up the next day. You kept taking the steps forward. You kept taking it day by day. And over time, what happened? That fear started to reduce. So what I'm doing there is scanning back to a previous memory where there was fear. And we've all had that at some point in our lives. But the point with that is you've done it before. So we can do exactly that today. And it might be a completely different context and completely different concept with what we're dealing with right now. But I want you to remind yourself that actually, I have done it before. There's no reason why, with the right tools, which I'll share in a minute, with the right tools, I can reduce this fear and I can move on from this point. So I'm going to use my chalkboard now and give you the strategy to take away today. So over time, let's start reducing that fear in front of you. So let's say you have a fear of falling outside. What you would do is put that fear into this table. And this is your action step. This is what I want you to do. You're going to recreate this table, which I'm about to go over, specific to your fear. So as you see to the left, we have Monday to Sunday. Then we have the step. Remember at the start of this video, I said you want to take a step so small that that step is almost to the point of what's the point in taking that step? That small, and that's where you begin. So that's what one step means. Then we have the time in which you complete that step. Don't worry, I'm going to get onto everything. And then how was it? Just reflecting, how did I feel with that step? Did anything happen? Did anything come up that I want to note down for the next day? So let's put this into practice. Your fear is falling outside. So what would be the first baby step? Well, the first baby step would be, how about we just open the door? Open the door and we can just stand there. How about that as the first step? So open the door, and that's our first step for the Monday. How long should we do this for? You've opened the door, you stand there. Maybe it's 2 minutes, maybe it's 5 minutes to start with. Let's say it's 2 minutes for today. And again, you might be at this point saying, Josh, what's the point in that? That's not walking, that's not reducing my fear of falling. But remember, it's the starting step. It's the step so small that you're looking at it thinking, what's the point in that step? Almost a laughable step from your perspective. Then how was it? Well, it was pretty easy, but there was fear. So what this is telling you is, even opening the door, there was some fear there. And that's good to note down because we can reflect back. One, you can see your progression and how much fear has reduced, but two, it sets you up for the next day. So the next day, what does this look like? How about we do the same? How about we open the door and just stand there? But how about today we do, why don't we up it to 4 minutes? Because every day doesn't have to be striving for the end result, right? Every day could be repeating the day previous. So how was this? Easy again, but there was a little bit of fear when we got to 4 minutes. Again, setting you up for the next day. How about on Wednesday, we do the same, but we do 10 minutes. And as you're seeing, there's a pattern. We're either increasing the step or increasing the duration of the step. So Thursday, how about now we open the door. I'll just put open. Don't want to take too much of your time up. We open the door and we take 1 step forward. We've opened the door, but today we're going to open the door and take a few steps forward, or 1 step forward. How long are we going to do that for? We're going to do this for 2 mins. 2 mins of the step and 5 mins just standing there again. How was that? Fear, but I saw I could do it. And we could go on and on and on. But what you're going to see, this is the point of it all, you're going to see your progression. And it's a way for you to track where you are every day so you can plan for the next day. And what you will see, I promise, if you approach it with this 1-step approach, that fear that you have will become quieter. By week, let's say this is week 1, this is week 6. By week 6, imagine if you kept going every day. Imagine where you'd be by week 6. It might be opening the door and walking for 30 minutes. But there's one key ingredient for this to work. It has to be consistent. You have to do this every day. And like I said, this doesn't mean you're, trying to do everything all day, every day. It means just taking a baby step every single day to reduce the fear that you may have. There's a really good quote I'll finish on, and it's from a bodyboarder, a surfer, Mike Stewart. And in big wave conditions, he says, gradual experience reduces fear, or gradual experience overcomes fear. Gradual experience through taking 1 step overcomes the fear that you may have. The fear of falling, the fear of going outside, the fear of losing your balance, the fear of getting injured. Whatever your fear is, taking 1 step at a time with this table approach, the fear will reduce. And I promise you'll get to a place of feeling really, really confident. So I hope that helps, and let me know how it goes. And if you wanted to see another video similar to this, I'll pop it here if you just click that. And if you want to subscribe to my channel as well, I would really appreciate it. Trying to get more consistent, I'll pop my little face there. Hope today was helpful, and remember, 1 step forward.